If I may just comment, one of the things that troubles me a lot in the geopolitical aspect of this is when the Prime Minister of Israel shows so much disrespect towards the president of my country.
Oh, he never had any respect at all. He's mocking the American people for being essentially a bunch of grasshoppers, that he can do whatever he wants with us, including lie our fathers into sending their sons to die in his wars.
You've probably heard of Patrick Bet-David, and if you haven't, he's the host of the PBD podcast and Valuetainment, platforms that cover current events, politics, and business. He's also someone who strongly believes that Israel's mass killing of Palestinian civilians is an act of self-defense. To this day, he still believes the widely debunked claims that Hamas beheaded babies and raped women.
So you think the Middle East and the world would be a better place if Israel didn't exist?
Yes.
Okay.
Israel's committed, so many terrorist attacks. They're stealing land right now. They're operating apartheid. They're currently committing a genocide on Palestinians. Do you believe in the genocide they're committing?
I think they're fighting for themselves and they're defending themselves.
Do you think that's defense?
Well,
when 1,200 people died,
Yeah.
and of which the 1,200 you've killed, and admitted that you've killed a lot during, your handle.
You're not saying what Hamas did. You're not saying what they did.
What did Hamas do?
I mean, from day one, when you see the rapes and the videos, we've all seen it. This isn't something
What rapes and videos?
But stay on this here if you want to continue with this.
But what rapes and videos?
But my concern when you're saying Israel's doing it, you're saying the other side isn't doing anything?
No, but I'm asking. There was no rapes during October 7th. They've shown no rapes from October 7th. They showed no beheaded babies. All that was all bullshit.
I'll send you stuff. No, there's plenty of stories. It's not all of them.
The Israeli articles that I saw recently said that there was only 2 babies killed. One was shot by a bullet, and the other one died in a hospital.
But that's not my main point here. Today, Bet-David conducted a 40-minute interview with the Prime Minister of Israel, a man currently facing accusations of war crimes by the International Criminal Court, ICC, including charges of committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. Here's the interesting part. Bet-David asked Netanyahu a very important question.
Whatever Israel wants, they make a phone call to America. America better do or else. Do you agree with that?
And Netanyahu's response?
You know President Trump? You don't make him do anything. He does what he thinks is in America's interest, and he's very forceful about it.
But on June 13, 2025, Israel launched surprise attacks on key military and nuclear facilities in Iran, and Iran retaliated with hypersonic and ballistic missiles that overwhelmed the Great Iron Dome of Israel and shook Israel. It was beyond what she could chew. And guess what Israel did?
It's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, and it's a battle of good against evil. America should and does stand with the good. That's what President Trump is doing, and I deeply appreciate his support.
Yeah, they asked America to join the war, but most of the MAGA supporters were against America joining this war and reminded Trump that his main campaign promise was he would end wars and not join them. It was a tough decision that split the American people. But guess what? Trump joined the war and bombed the Iranian nuclear facilities with B-2 bombers. And if that isn't Trump being under the control of Israel, what else would it be? There's a book called The 48 Laws of Power, and one of the first rules is never outshine the master. Netanyahu's manipulative tactics prove that he never outshines Trump because he needs Trump now as his ally, someone he can simply praise and persuade to do anything he wants. And Trump is someone who likes to be praised.
Putin said Donald Trump is a genius. Putin called me a genius, by the way. Vladimir Putin said Donald Trump is a genius. He's going to do very well. Putin said Donald Trump's a genius. Then Putin said Donald Trump is a genius.
But here is one of the best videos you will ever watch, where Scott Horton exposes how Netanyahu manipulates the presidents of America.
If I may just comment, one of the things that troubles me a lot in the geopolitical aspect of this is when the Prime Minister of Israel shows so much disrespect towards the president of my country.
Oh, he never had any respect at all. Let's see if we can find secret video of Netanyahu. This is it. Yeah, so you just mute that and just read the caption there. So let me set this up. Netanyahu in this video, he's at a settler's house in the living room. He tells the boy, turn off the video camera. And the boy either fails to turn it off or he deliberately turns it right back on again. It's a bit unclear. But the video keeps rolling and Netanyahu keeps blabbing. Netanyahu here, he's mocking the American people for being essentially a bunch of grasshoppers, that he can do whatever he wants with us, including lie our fathers into sending their sons to die in his wars. And he's saying what you do is you just beat these Palestinians, you just hurt them and cripple them and kill them and weaken them and let them know that they'll never win and we'll crush them and blah, 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 blah. And she says, geez, Bibi, but aren't you going to drive the world crazy and make them mad, especially America? And Netanyahu then ridicules us and says, let me tell you something about America, okay? America is a thing that is easily moved. 80% of them support us. It's absurd. I'm not afraid of Bill Clinton. Let me tell you what I did to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton said, yada, yada, Area C. I said, no problem, Bill. But then you know what I did? I made it where Area C is this huge military area, 2/3 of the West Bank. Ha, ha, ha. Sexually assaulted old Bill right in the face and got away with murder. And not because his spies were blackmailing Bill Clinton, tapping his phone and all of his sexcapades. They used that blackmail to try to get him to pardon Jonathan Pollard. That's different. They were doing that. But don't let me sound sympathetic to old Bill Clinton, the child killer here when I say this, but I can almost sympathize with him when they say after his first meeting with Netanyahu in 1996, after half an hour, he came out and said, who the F does this guy think he is? Oh my God, who's the superpower and who's the client state? Like he was out of breath, exasperated, just stunned.
But it's not just Clinton. Like he shows, even just let's just take it to today. Benjamin Netanyahu seems to show a lot of continued disrespect towards Donald Trump. Like this is the Donald Trump is the president of the most powerful country
and the best friend
Earth.
he ever had. Move the embassy to Jerusalem, recognized Israel's seizure of the Golan Heights, wrangled these phony Abraham Accords, which we're about to describe here in a minute. Did all of this for him. Has only barely talked him out of annexation, but said, we'll get to it though, buddy. It's cool. Just wait. On full annexation of the West Bank last time around. Clearly, it's the agenda this time. Clearly, Trump's wrapped around his little finger, and still he has nothing but contempt. And I wish that someone would tell Trump, listen, pal, you might as well be a Palestinian to this guy. He doesn't care about you at all. He doesn't care about our country at all. You think Benjamin Netanyahu cares that 3,000 Americans died on September 11th? Because Mohammed Atta was taking revenge for what Israel had done in Lebanon? No. And you know how I know that, Lex? He told the New York Times. They didn't overhear this and report it. He said to the New York Times in an interview on September 11th, it's very good. You want to pull that up? September 12, 2001, New York Times, Netanyahu, very good. That's how much respect Benjamin Netanyahu has for the enlistment age sons of the United States of America and the dead civilians on those planes and in those towers. New York Times, that's it.
A day of terror, the Israelis. Spilled blood is seen as bond that draws two nations closer. Asked tonight what the attack meant for the relations between the United States and Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, the former prime minister, replied, "It's very good." Then he edited himself, "Well, it's not very good, but it will generate immediate sympathy." He predicted that the attack would, quote, "strengthen the bond between our two peoples because we've experienced terror over so many decades, but the United States has now experienced a massive hemorrhaging of terror."
Yeah, man. And listen, on September 11th, Donald Trump says that there were Muslims in New Jersey celebrating the attack. There was somebody in New Jersey celebrating the attack. They were Israeli Mossad officers, and they were arrested. And they told the arresting officers, the problem isn't us, the problem is the Palestinians. And the FBI released the pictures, and they're holding lighters up like they're the ones burning the tower down, and they're all laughing and celebrating. Justin Raimondo called them the high fivers. The FBI arrested them and held them for months. Carl Cameron of Fox News did a 4-part investigative series, quoting FBI agents as saying they had to have known what was happening. Mossad was in the United States following the hijackers around, and they only gave the barest of warnings that August. They did not tell everything that they knew about the September 11th attack. And then it hit, and Netanyahu said, it's very good. And then his fifth column lied us into war with Iraq. And he never got his pipeline to Haifa, by the way, but he did make a deal with the Kurds to ship the oil out of there through Syria to Israel. So they got their nickel a barrel discount at the cost of $10 trillion of our wealth, and the ruining of the entire beginning of the third millennium, pardon me. But it just did not have to be this way. It just did not at all.
Why is he able to talk like this to the United States president?
He blackmailed Bill. He told Bill Clinton, you better let Jonathan Pollard out because I have you on tape with Monica Lewinsky, pal. And Bill Clinton was going to do it, except that George Tenet said he would resign and that many leaders of the CIA would resign in protest if he did it. Jonathan Pollard was one of the most destructive spies in American history. He was spying for Israel, and they were turning over everything that he stole. I mean, rooms full to the Soviet Union.